I'm gonna call to order the regular meeting of the Board of Trustees of the Warrenville Public Library District for Wednesday, July 16th, 2025 at 7 o'clock, or actually 7:02 p.m. And so first thing we're gonna do is a roll call. Trustee Lazan. Here. Trustee Pishka. Here. And Trustee Schmidt. Here. And Trustee Stull is here, as well as Executive Director Jason Stolman, Executive Assistant to the Director Jackie Davis, as well as the various department heads. So the first thing we have on there is I need a motion to approve remote attendance and participation.
I move. I'm sorry,
Next page.
I'm gonna forget myself again. I move that we approve remote attendance
And
for trustee Barbara DeRocher.
I'll second.
as allowed by 5 ILCS 120/7. Okay, and so then that was, motion was made by trustee Lazan and seconded by trustee Schmidt. And so then we're gonna do a roll call vote. So trustee Schmidt,
Aye.
trustee Pishka,
Aye.
trustee Lazan,
Aye.
and trustee Stoll votes aye, so motion carries. So trustee DeRocher is able to participate remotely.
I'm here.
And she's- Okay, so then the next thing I need is approval of the agenda.
I'll move to approve Barbara, did you want to move?
Nope, go ahead.
The Schmidt will move to approve the agenda.
And then I need a second.
Second.
Okay, so trustee Schmidt made the motion to approve the agenda and trustee Lazan seconded. So, and that's gonna be a voice vote. So all those in favor?
Aye.
And any opposed? Okay, so now we can discuss it. So is there anything anybody feels that needs to be removed or added or?
Oh, you usually do that before you vote.
Okay, well, so sorry.
We've approved the agenda. We would have to reapprove it now. If we
Even though-
change it.
Is there anything anybody wants to remove or add or shift around or? Okay, so then I'll just let the voice vote stand. Okay, so then, are there any presentations at this time?
Not tonight.
Okay, and then do we have any public comments? See any public, so we will put that also as none. So then, item 6 is correspondence, which is some very good news.
Yes, we got our letter from the state
Yay.
that we got our per capita grant. So
Woohoo.
when we get the
Seems
check.
a little higher this year.
No, it is actually, it is higher, but it is also lower.
Okay.
Last year was higher because they raised it by, I think, 1 cent. So we got like $100 or more more than we were expecting. This year, they rolled it back that cent. But it is higher than last year because of the special census. So I
Okay.
submitted that paperwork, the official paperwork that the city had. I submitted that to the state. So instead of the per capita grant being based on that 14,000 and whatever it was, 96 people, it is based on the 15,152 people, whatever the number is. I can't remember off the top of my head. But so it's based on the new population, the updated population. So the number is a little bit higher, but in my mind, when I saw the letter, it was lower than I was expecting because they rolled it back that 1 cent. So, so yeah, so that means it's both higher and lower than last year. But
Okay.
either way, good news. I think I had mentioned earlier in the year when we were talking about the IMLS cuts that I reached out and confirmed that this was not in danger of being affected by the IMLS cuts. It's not dependent on IMLS at all. So all, how other things in the state or whether this will be affected in the future if they have to reallocate money to help sustain delivery could be another issue, but the general concept of the per capita grant is not in danger. So yeah,
Okay,
hopefully next month, I can't remember when the check actually comes in, but hopefully soon we'll get our check for $22,000.
So the next item is the consent agenda. If I could ask the secretary to read that, please.
Here we go. A, approved minutes of the June 18th, 2025 regular board meeting. Receive and file financial report for June 2025. Tentative budget and appropriations. Adopt ordinance 2025-03, tentative budget and appropriation ordinance for fiscal year 2025 to 2026. 2, adopt certificate of authenticity for tentative budget and appropriation ordinance for fiscal year 2025 to 2026. And 3, approve notice of public hearing on budget and appropriation ordinance. D, approve public disclosure of total compensation posting for fiscal year ending June 30th, 2026, as required by Illinois Public Act 97-0609.
Second.
Okay, well, I need you to motion first before it's seconded.
I move that we approve the consent agenda as read by Secretary Smith.
I second.
Okay, so the motion was made by trustee Lazan and seconded by trustee Fishka. And so then that's gonna be a roll call vote.
Is there any
Oh,
discussion?
sorry, is there any
Or
discussion
changes?
or changes or
Trustee Schmidt.
questions?
Trustee Schmidt.
I don't, oh, there was one. In the minutes, there was one little typo. It should say house and it should say hours instead of house.
Item 12B on
Yeah.
the minutes,
Yeah, we're looking
it
at.
says have at least one person present during operating houses, and it should read operating hours.
I didn't catch it on the first meeting. I know. I know you were counting on me.
wow, good job catching that one.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, no, that's the only little change. So with that change, I used to go okay with the motion and second.
Well, it should be as amended.
Now we have to vote.
Yeah.
But it
No,
should
we
be
have to
as-
amend it.
Yeah.
Amend the motion. I move that we approve the consent agenda as amended. The consent agenda read by Secretary Smith amended.
The minutes as agenda.
Minute.
I second.
Okay, so then the motion was made by trustee Lazan and seconded by trustee DeRocher. So then, trustee DeRocher,
Aye.
trustee Lazan,
Aye.
trustee Fishka.
Aye.
Trustee Schmidt
Aye.
and trustee Stoll votes aye, so motion carries, and the consent agenda as read, as amended, is carried. Okay. And then, so then we go on to the regular agenda. So there's a sheet in front of you with the full list of invoices. So if I would need a motion for that, please.
I don't have any of those sheets.
Right.
Okay, I'll do it. Pay invoices, I'll move that we pay invoices in the amount of $98,289.24 for the period of June 19th, 2025 through July 16th, 2025, including electronic payments and checks from numbers 10604 to 10660. Check number 10652 is voided.
I second.
Okay, so motion was made by trustee Schmidt and seconded by trustee DeRocher. So any discussion or questions?
Nope.
Okay, so then, again, since this is money, we're gonna do a roll call vote. So then trustee Schmidt,
Aye.
trustee Fishka,
Aye.
trustee Lazan,
Aye.
trustee DeRocher.
Aye.
Okay, so, so hearing none opposed and all votes were ayes, motion, trustee Stoll votes aye also. Motion carries and the payments are approved. So then we go on to item B, which again is a sheet in front of you. So I need a motion.
I move that we transfer 260,000 from commercial checking account to operating checking account.
Okay, the motion was made by trustee Lazan and I need a second.
I second.
Trustee Fishka seconds. Okay, so now any discussions or questions? Okay, hearing none, then we're going to do a roll call vote. So trustee DeRocher,
Aye.
trustee Fishka.
Aye.
Trustee Lazan,
Aye.
trustee Schmidt,
Aye.
and trustee Stoll votes aye, so motion carries and we're approving the internal transfer of funds. Okay, so then, we're going on to item C, which is page 27 in the packet. So I need, a motion.
You're gonna I want to do it, but you're gonna have to help me how to say it.
That's fine.
I,
I got put the time here.
I'm sorry, oh, just read that, okay, so.
Just start out with I move and then the
I
rest of
move.
it, yeah.
I read that.
Okay, I move that we transfer, 1 million from the Fifth Third Commercial Checking Account to Illinois funds.
Second.
Okay, so the motion was made by trustee Fisher and seconded by trustee Lazan. So any discussion or questions, or I guess I would turn this over to Jason to maybe.
Sure, yeah, I mean, I tried to spell it all out there as clear as possible, but. One of the appealing factors about Illinois funds was that it's very liquid. So we could transfer the $1 million in now, and if we decide in August that, maybe we transferred a little too much, we need 100,000 back, we can easily do that. So, therefore, you know, I put a couple of the different scenarios there. Transferring $1 million is tight, but like I said, tax money starts coming in August, the majority of it, over $1 million worth, is gonna come in September. So I think we'll be okay. As an added bonus, I did some of the math, as of yesterday, the rate at Illinois funds is 4.447%. So,
Wow.
so just doing 4.4%, you know, it can change wildly in the next 5 months, but I
Yeah.
figured if we kept 2 million, you know, if we transferred this $1 million in, we'll have just over $2 million at Illinois funds. If we kept that for the next 5.5 months through the end of December, for 5 months worth at 4.4%, we'd earn $36,000 in interest.
That'd be great.
So in my mind, it seems worth it. And like I said, if we decide next month, you know, looking at the bank statements, we go, oh, we could use a little bit of that back. There's no penalties. It's easy to do. We can just transfer some back. So that's my recommendation, is $1 million. So
So the one question that I have regarding this, so I get the flexibility, but say we transfer the million in, then we have to pull some money back. You could say, do we, I don't want to say penalty, but then do we lose any of that interest if we pull it out, say, too soon? I mean, in the sense.
Oh,
It's
No.
like a CD.
Okay,
So I think they calculate based on your daily balance, but they don't award the interest until the end of the month.
okay, so in other words, we would still collect it on the daily balance and say we pull it out before the end of the month. It still doesn't affect the interest that we earned up till that point.
Correct.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. Okay, so then we're do a roll call vote. So trustee Schmidt? Aye. Trustee Pishka?
Aye.
Trustee Lazan?
Aye.
Trustee DeRocher?
Aye.
And trustee Stoll votes aye, so motion carries and we're gonna approve the transfer of 1 million to Illinois funds. Okay, so now right now we're at item 9 and I don't see that there's any unfinished business. Is that correct? Okay, so then we're going on to the new business. So the first item, A, fiscal year 25 budget summary is starts on page 28. And this is FYI, so it's just discussion only. We don't need a motion.
Yeah, so I just want to, now that the fiscal year is over, just want to give you a brief recap of how we ended up. We ended up very well. So we earned $54,000 more in income than we had budgeted for, which is great. Part of that was due to the interest, part of that was due to extra TIF money. And so forth. And then we also underspent by almost $170,000. So all in all, that ended up, this is for the corporate fund that left us with a surplus of 87,000. So, and change. So.
Yay.
It's great. So I like I wrote there, part of that was due to, some missing staff for a little bit of time and member services. And then we saved on, we budgeted for the strategic planning consultants, which we did not use. Saved, we had budgeted for a couple people from public services to go to ILA, but for whatever reason, the way it shook out, they weren't able to go, so we didn't pay for those 2 people to go to a conference. So, and then just other generally some conservative or underspending, so. Which is great, because we had started with the deficit of $136,000, so to come back with a surplus is great, because once again, this year we have a deficit planned. So having that surplus ensures that we will be able to cover that deficit if we manage to spend it this year. But as a item of note, kind of related to the end of the year transfer, normally, I haven't been here when we've made a transfer yet. Neither has Connie, neither has Erica, obviously Erica being brand new, but typically the way it would work is if we had this surplus at the end of the year, after the audit is done, then you all could decide, hey, we had $87,000 extra that we didn't spend or that we gained. Let's make a motion in the fall to transfer $87,000 from the corporate fund to special reserve fund. And then it's there in the special reserve fund for our future building projects or whatever we need to do. I don't know when the actual last time we made a transfer was. I'm not sure between 2019 and 2021, but otherwise the last time that I've seen was 2018. So even if it's 2021, it's been a while. But since we are still running that deficit after, the 2022 and 2023 changes that you made, the benefit changes. So we're running that deficit, but so we don't want to make that transfer yet because we want to keep making sure until we get back down to a more balanced budget. We want to have that money there in case we need it. But as an item of comparison, in fiscal year 22, Sandy had budgeted a deficit of 89,000 and change, but we ended up having a surplus of 170,000. In fiscal 23, Sandy had budgeted a deficit of 229,000 and change, but we had a surplus of 18,000 and change.
Wow.
My first budget, we had a deficit of 227,000 and change, but we ended up only having a deficit of 7,800. So still greatly underspent. It wasn't the surplus, but still underspent by $220,000. And then for
That's
this year,
practically coming out even. I mean,
yeah, so for fiscal year 25, we had the deficit of 136,000 planned, and we have a surplus of 87,000. So over those last 4 fiscal years, we had a deficit budgeted total worth of almost $681,000, but we've ended up having a surplus of $269,000. So I was doing that math today and going, oh, that much of a surplus we probably could transfer, but considering we still have this year and maybe next year still possibly having that deficit budget, it's probably still good to just keep it there in case. But I'm hoping in the next couple of years we will be able to start transferring money back to special reserve fund at the end of the year. So, but I just wanted to put it in perspective that despite the fact that we've been having budgeting on these deficits, we have not actually, other than fiscal year 24 with 7,000 deficit spending, but way under. Like we have not been meeting those deficits, which is great because otherwise we'd be draining ourselves of money. So, special reserve fund, we really underspent. We, like I said, several computer items we didn't end up needing this year, so we didn't have to buy them. There was Duncan and I were thinking about getting a PA system, but we looked into that and we were blown away by how expensive it was. So that was not cost effective for us to have. So yeah, so we ended up not really spending what we had planned to spend for the special reserve, which is great. It's this current new fiscal year, we have a lot budget to spend, so hopefully we don't spend it all this year either, but we will see.
Can we decide to put money into the special reserve fund at any time, or is there only specific times that we do that?
Yeah, you probably could at any time. I think probably traditionally it's done after your audit is done and that you have your,
So we
You
could
know.
take another look at it at that time, just in
Yeah.
case we decided to put anything. Don't.
I think that's a good idea, Heather.
yeah, I can do that. So when I think Jackie and I were on vacation in September, so the audit got pushed back. I think they'll be coming in November to present it. So I can try and at the November meeting have maybe what I was reading out to you, but wasn't in the packet. I can try and lay that out and get a better sense of, we maybe don't want to transfer $269,000, but maybe we could take a portion of that and transfer it. and
Yeah,
still have-
Yeah, I was gonna ask if we can just do a portion of it.
Yeah, I think that
That's
would
what
work.
I was thinking too, I just
Okay.
figure any extra little cushion we can have at some point, so.
I agree.
Okay, and, then, so are any other comments about the budget summary, or are we ready to move on to the next item? Okay, so then, the next item starts on page 31, item B, review updated personnel handbook, part 1, discussion again, so we do not need a motion at this time. So, I guess, Jason, I don't know if you wanted to make a presentation or information, or people want to jump in with questions?
Yeah, this was really, really in-depth, Jason.
Yeah.
And Ian, you guys did a ton of work. I don't know, it's hard for me to see. Is Ian in the room?
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
Thank you. So I don't know, there'll be a lot more, what's the word? Grammatical editing sort of edits coming. Thank you, Kathy. To this, but otherwise, I don't know how detailed you wanted me to go through it. I hopefully tried to
I'm
sum
just kind of curious, was HR source, was it helpful? Was it really annoying? Was it
Oh,
combination of those things?
oh, they were not annoying. At least they weren't for me. I don't know about for you, Ian. I think they were very helpful. In section 2, 2.1, 2.4, and 2.9, and 3.7, they had legal additions. So some of which they came up with. I think at least one of them we asked them to do. They added the section on at least I think they were the ones that added it, the 1 day rest in 7 act, which is.
We actually wrote that, they approved it.
Oh, okay, they approved it, but it was good to have a legal eye
Yes.
on that.
Definitely.
But they added, some of the wording about the protected classes and qualified individuals for the accommodations and whatnot. So I think working with them is great. I mean, this section
Oh, good.
has the least
Good.
amount of changes, sections 3 and 4, I think we added or 4 and 5 that is, had a few more changes, but I think it's just good to have, the legal HR professionals take a glance at it and make sure that we have in fact written everything up correctly, make sure we're not missing anything, which we were. They had added a couple things from the last time. So no, I think they're totally worth using. So we don't want to, I don't think, pay them to review it every single year. That would be expensive, but this periodic, when we do a big update, I think it's good for them to take a look.
Good. Good. Jason, you had a question on page 34 about
did.
the decision to close.
Yeah, I
And
think,
that
Sure.
has always been the director's decision, to my knowledge.
okay, that's what I thought, and I feel like I remember asking you that, I think when I first got here. But I just,
Yeah.
since we're doing the review of this and updating, I just wanted to confirm that, given my
I
previous.
think that Sandy's default was to stay open as often as possible. And maybe to the chagrin of some employees.
Yeah.
Um,
couple times that we did have weather-related closing, it was just a matter of informing the board that was the decision she made, not necessarily asking for approval, but just.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, great. That's what I thought. I just wanted to verify with you that that was,
Right.
you were happy with the way that works. Because like I said, in my previous experience, that was not how it worked. So, but when you're in the midst of, it's whatever, 5 or 6 in the morning and there's a blizzard going, like, I don't necessarily want to have to go through the rigmarole of calling you all to get permission to be closing. I just want to interact with all the managers and say, hey, we're gonna close because there's a blizzard and it's not safe for people to drive, so just stay home, and then I let you know that we did that. That's a much
Yeah,
easier
that sounds reasonable.
process.
Well, the other thing is it's too hard to get a hold of everybody, whether people are going off to work or whatever, so.
So you all aren't necessarily expecting contact from me, whereas they are all waiting for me to say, are we gonna close? Are we gonna close?
Yeah.
But I mean, if they close the roads,
Right,
come on, you're not supposed to be on the road. That goes for everybody.
and I appreciate Sandy's, we're a public building, we want to be open for as much as we possibly can. But it is maybe taking me years to. Like, I am a good driver, I like driving in a blizzard, while definitely not my favorite thing, I don't like doing it, but I can handle it okay, but not everybody can, and it's like. It has taken a while for it to sink in to be like. It is not just about being open for people, like, maybe we shouldn't be encouraging the public to be coming here either. Safe, let alone
Exactly.
being safe.
Right.
Drive out during that, so
Yeah.
it's really making sure you consider that and not having the bravado of like, well, I drove in 15 miles to get here, why can't you? Like, that's not the right attitude.
Well, it's kind of like too, since I work for a public office, pretty much you get there. And if you can't, well, then sick time, they do, very, very few times that they close, because again, public posted hours and everybody needs to have access to the court system, so.
Right.
But again, the library is different and. So, but that's the thing, smart decisions.
So that was one thing I tweaked. I think Sandy previously said, if we decided you didn't want to come to work because the conditions were bad, you just we're unpaid that day. And I think everybody's got their different comfort levels, or some people might have a mile drive, somebody might have a 20-mile drive. And like, that seems not reasonable. Like, if you just don't feel comfortable driving, then you should have the option to say, taking a vacation day or sick day or whatever for that. If you don't have the time available to you, then it's gonna be unpaid. But that's just like any other time, so. But I think that is more fair to let somebody actually take the time off if they're not feeling safe.
Right.
So, and I don't know, the one thing I brought up, and I don't know if this is something that needed to be reviewed, but just that there was not anything addressing tardiness in there, so.
Yeah, Heather mentioned that to me. I don't know. Unless it's in a later section, but
He's in the section.
Oh, it is in a later section.
We will double check.
well, no, yeah, I made a note for us to
I did not.
look that over.
Not about the time clock.
Yeah, so that's, I think we were expecting it to be, it said, it rounds to the nearest 15. And you shouldn't clock in more than 5 minutes early and shouldn't clock out more than 5 minutes late. But there's nothing necessarily about if you're, tardy for multiple times or something. Is there any sort of, like, there was, in that section, there was no discussion about.
Cause I mean, I guess too, I mean, I know it probably would be more appropriate to discuss absenteeism as well, if there's a policy in that. So.
I can't remember if that's discussed later in sections 4 or 5, but at the moment, we're just so focused on sections 1 through 3 that I honestly can't remember.
I would think there's a section in.
But if there's not, we can add something in.
So any other questions or discussion on the personnel handbook?
I appreciate.
Really good work.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I was gonna have the chunk.
it is.
The
They
whole
will
shebang.
Yes.
You guys really did do a good job.
Thanks.
I know you were- Oh, and I know too, you were asking about whether to approve section by section or else approving it all at once.
Mhm.
So I don't know, I thought at least for this initial one, it would seem better to approve it all at once, and then whenever we have to update it, then yeah, update whatever section, but I thought for the first time that the whole handbook should be approved at the same time, but I don't know what.
Yeah, that makes sense. That sounds good.
Okay. So then as I wrote there, next month we'll review section 4 and then in September review section 5, unless we want to do them two together, but they are both longer than the first 3 sections that we did, so. And then we could then aim for October.
Yeah.
To approve the whole shebang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will you want me,
Okay.
I can point out any, like, I assume you don't necessarily want to see grammatical changes. Will you want me to include the whole handbook in the board? pack?
No, you don't need to do that.
No,
Okay. Okay, I will note if we change anything substantial, substantive, you know the word I mean. But for just plain old basic editing, I assume you
Yeah.
do not care about whether we, okay.
So Jason, I have a question. Where does the employee handbook live? Does it get sent as an e-document to a new employee?
They actually get a print off.
An actual printed copy? Okay. All right.
But we have a PDF copy on the network. Yeah. But as I was
Okay.
reviewing, I tried to keep it updated as we had approved a couple of different sections in the last 2 years. But in going through so that I could make this outline of notes for you, what the changes were, there was a couple of things where I'm like, oh, this really is older than I thought it was. We're still a part of DLS, the DuPage Library System. I'm like, this really hasn't, this whole thing as a whole has not been touched in a while, so.
Yeah.
DuPage Library System.
So if an employee really was having a question about something, they would probably go to the online copy because that would be the most updated one. Yeah.
Well, when we make an updated section, Ian prints it out, gives it to everybody, and they sign the acknowledgement that they have read and understood the updates.
That makes
Okay.
sense.
That doesn't mean they kept them.
Everybody has a binder, it's labeled employee handbook. And then, this is where I come in, the safety manual is housed also in that same binder.
Oh, good thinking, Kathy.
But with the decision of the committee, we wanted those things together. And again, that each employee would have easy access to.
Okay, cool.
But whether or not they insert the new sections,
But they're given the new sections to insert and replace, so.
Okay,
Okay, so,
alrighty.
then, thank you again to everybody with the personnel handbook. Appreciate all the hard work that went into it. So then, if we're through with any other questions on the personnel handbook? Okay, then we're gonna move on to item C, where we're going to appoint 2 trustees to review the secretary's records for fiscal year 25. So, of the people that are here, anybody that wants to volunteer to do that, or you're the secretary, so.
Oh, I can't do it.
Right.
Oh, I've been doing it the last few years.
Well, because you were the secretary. That's why I couldn't do it the last. year. So.
I nominate Rick.
Yeah. Yeah, Rick
He's
Walker,
really good at it.
you need the second person.
Yeah,
I think it's a great thing for a new trustee to do. I nominate Eric.
I'm starting to feel something.
Yeah.
My
So,
way.
well, just so you know, all that you're doing
Mhm.
is, it's not like you're looking at each individual. All you're doing is verifying, like Jason will give you a list of all the meetings. And you're just verifying that the minutes are there for that particular meeting.
Okay.
So for instance, if for some reason you see that September 18th, 2023 isn't there, then it's like, okay, now we have to get that record so that we have that. Should say a member of the public or somebody file a FOIA request that needs that, then we need to have that record available for them. So all it is verifying that the meeting minutes are there for when the meeting was held. Okay, so you would like to do that? Yeah. Okay, and it just takes like a half hour before a regular board meeting. It doesn't take really very long at all.
I can do that. No problem.
Okay.
Yeah, and Rick and I scheduled a separate time. We just did it. We scheduled like, you know, a time where it's nice if Jackie's there. Because she has the binder and puts it together for you. But literally took about 15 minutes, I think.
No, I can definitely do that. And when am I do this?
I will email you both since we are nominating Rick when he isn't here. So, I mean, I'll email the two of you and Jackie, because you'll schedule it ideally with Jackie, to do that.
And it
We'll
just
go
in
from
a
there.
reasonable period of time, like within a, I don't know, what, a 2-week time frame that, you know, that whether it's, you know, individually, you don't both have to do it at the same time.
It's.
It just has to be done before next month, because
Right.
next month you'll be reviewing
Yes.
the draft of the IPLAR report,
All right.
because we have to submit that by September 1st. So, and this is a requirement of the IPLAR report.
Okay, so then I would need a motion.
Well, can I just ask one question? What time do you get off from work? Because that might be tricky.
Oh, I get off work at 4:00.
Um,
Fine. And also I work remote, so,
You work remote?
yeah,
Okay, so you can maybe buzz up at lunch or something like
yeah,
that.
I actually technically could work from work here.
Oh. You're being.
My equipment from my
For
work.
sure. I
That's
know.
what I meant.
Yes.
That's what I meant. I didn't mean anything else.
Yes.
Bring my equipment because I work remote. As long as I have an internet connection, I'm good.
Yeah. And we have that. All right, I'll move for the two helpful board members to review the copies of the minutes.
I believe we need to have the exact names.
Okay, Rick Warren and Erica.
Okay, and then we
So
need
there's a motion right on page, whatever it is, 70.
page 70. Okay,
Two honors and two records for FY25.
okay, so, and, second, so the motion was made by trustee Schmidt and seconded by trustee Lazan. So, any other discussion or questions or? Okay, I believe that can be a, voice vote. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so, motion carries and trustee Warren and trustee Fishka will be auditing the secretary's records for fiscal year 25. Okay, so now we are on page 71 and the director's report.
All right, I don't necessarily have a whole lot this month, but thank you to everyone who showed up for the parade. We had a good time. So
Grandkids had a blast.
we had exuberant and enthusiastic candy passer outers.
Oh, who were they?
My two of my grandchildren.
Oh, that's so great.
At first, they didn't know if they wanted to hand out candy, and that really changed fast.
That's a long walk.
Oh, they were running in circles. They were having a blast.
Wasn't it really hot?
Yeah, but they were running, you know, a 5-year-old.
Okay. What do they care?
Yeah, they were having fun, that's all they cared.
Thanks, Mary Kelly, for letting us use your car.
Yes.
The other item of note there, we officially offered Diana the position of the community engagement and outreach coordinator, and she.
Yay, I'm so happy.
She's already started. She's very excited. At some point, she will come to a meeting, and once she's settled in a little bit more and give you some notes or news. So a couple people have asked. So we are going to, Paul and I are working on a job description to post a job for the 20-hour desk position. So hoping we'll have that posted by the end of this. So that's by the end of the summer. And I'll transition away as much as possible from youth, and we'll have a new desk coach. So,
Okay.
and then that miscellaneous item there. Erica, you are official. I have submitted the paperwork so the county and the state know you are a trustee.
Yay.
Perfect.
That was, we had a quick turnaround, although after, I don't know, the last week or two, seems like a long time ago, but we had a quick turnaround from July, so Yeah, didn't necessarily have a whole lot to report. That is all I have.
Well, I'm so glad it escaped from Candyland.
Yes, I gotta escape. That was fun.
Yeah, you looked especially happy to be out of there in that picture, Jason.
Great. Photo.
Uh,
It was fun. They did a great job, so. It was great that we do that, that they put it together themselves. There's, I think, some kits out there that you can put together, but it's a lot of work to try and come up with all the clever clues and based on the theme and arrange the room, and then you have to reset it, so it's a lot of work. My wife has done it for her library, and she does it by herself rather than a couple people together, so she literally will spend months doing it, so it's a lot of work, so they did a great job. It was a lot of fun. So
Good.
So any other questions, comments on the director's report? Okay, then we'll move on to the department head report, starting on page 73. Again, thank you very much for all your input and preparedness on this. To this department heads, so if people have any questions, comments?
Just lots going on.
Yeah,
I was gonna
we're bored.
I was just gonna say to Lori, how fun is it to find missing items? I saw that you found
Yeah.
some missing items.
I could have passed that on to Sophia and Maddie. They do the most of it now, but they're very excited to find it. And it's really cool, I mean, especially if you look for something like 4 times. And that 5th time you look, it's like right where it was supposed to be. How we didn't find it then, you know, the other 4 times you look, but it is always gratifying to find. And especially when we can save the, you know, Swan will delete things after a year that are missing for a year, and then invariably somebody comes out and wants to check it out and says, I was not in the catalog. But yeah, it's fun.
And I was just gonna also acknowledge that certificate of appreciation from the People's Resource Center that
Yeah, that's great that they appreciate our partnership.
great. So then, anybody else have anything to add to the, or a question about the department head reports? Okay, then I guess we're on to my report, President. So just, of the next several board meetings from Wednesday, August 20th, Wednesday, September 17th, Wednesday, October 15th, meetings start at 7 o'clock. The only additional thing we have going on in September is the budget appropriation public hearing. So, that's gonna be important, so hopefully everybody will be here at 7 o'clock and ready to go.
I'm gonna miss the September meeting. Sorry, guys.
Okay. Is
I'm
that
gonna
some-
be in Iceland.
Okay.
So I can't participate remotely.
I think the time difference might be a little much of an issue as well, so,
Yeah, I think so.
okay, so then, that covers that, so then, onto the treasurer's report, which I guess we have the.
well,
Yeah.
it's a nice interest. For the month of June, we made over 2,500 from the Illinois fund alone in 1 month.
Yeah, but she's not here, so.
Yeah.
So. we
So
have-
that's really a lot.
Yeah.
Considering what we were making before, that's gonna make a big difference in the budget.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm making.
I'm already dreaming of more ebooks.
And then adding, and now we just added the 1 million, that's really gonna make a big difference.
Yeah, I think that'll be great. I mean, I'm,
Even if it's 5
cautiously
months,
optimistic because we don't know how the interest rates will go. But even,
Yeah.
at that low end of just the 4.4,
yeah,
like just the idea that in 5 months' time, we'll earn $36,000 and I budgeted 40, thousand of interest for the year, like, we're gonna hopefully well surpass what we budgeted,
Yeah,
which will be great.
you bet.
So then, onto the secretary's report.
I have nothing new. I signed some documents that were need to be signed, but I have nothing additional.
Okay, and, I don't think we have any reports. Oh. go
I
ahead.
wanted to thank Sandy for signing all the checks again this month.
No problem.
We have an experienced person here to do that.
That's right, very experienced.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't think we need to have any committee reports this month. Okay, so then on to trustee comments. Does anybody have anything they'd like to add? Anything? Okay, thank you.
Did the concert get canceled tonight?
Yes,
Oh, bummer.
It was one of those around 1 o'clock, there was still blue skies, but they were calling for thunderstorms and we were under a thunderstorm. I can never remember, watch warning, whatever it is, until 8 o'clock tonight. So we
Yeah.
just thought we'd rather be sure that we can pay them for an actual concert rather than have them show up and then have to cancel and we have to pay them anyway. So, and as it turns out, it did rain this afternoon, so they would have been setting up in the rain and that would have been bad. So at the moment, it looks like it is clearing up a bit. So for actual concert time, it would have been okay, but it would have been really damp out there for people to sit. So it would have
It's pretty right after.
Yeah, my glasses immediately popped when I came
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're not having good luck this year. That's 2 already. So
so then at this point, I don't think there's any further items for information and or discussion. So trustee Pishka, your motion?
What was it again?
To adjourn.
A motion to adjourn?
Second.
I second, yeah. You got it first.
Okay, so then the motion was made by trustee Pishka and seconded by trustee Lazat. And so then a voice vote, all those in favor?
I
Okay, motion carries and we are adjourned at 7:49 PM.